Karibu sana, karibu sana. It's another Thursday. This is Politics Today, Hapa Science TV. My name is Jonas Simba. I've brought a Gen Z in studio again. Politics Today comes to you every Thursday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. thereabout. We try our level best to bring you everything that is happening in the country. I've brought you a Gen Z, the same Brian. Hi, Brian Madenge.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Mambo.
Nzuri sana.
Ndio. Since last week. A lot of accolades for you.
Thank you.
Many of the people who followed the show alipenda your input last week. That's why I brought you back.
Very well.
0111980384 is the number you can follow us on. Science TV on YouTube, Blind Jonas Simba, Facebook and TikTok. Give us your views. Our sign language interpreter today is none other than Irene Chebiwot. We are talking about the ODM party, the chaos in ODM party, Brian Madenge.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Is it chaos? Is it confusion? Is it order? Did you listen to the SG Edwin Sifuna's conversation on one of the media stations on Tuesday?
Yes, I did.
Yes. What's your... Let's try and dissect this because I don't know what your opinion would be. By the way, for those who don't know, Brian Madenge is a political mobilizer with the social justice centers, especially the Madare Social Justice Center. I got that correctly?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yes. Nani Gen Z. Yes. Yeah, I almost said certified. Come on, go on now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you, Jonah, for having me once again. And it's always a pleasure to come and, of course, dissect these political matters. Because, well, we are, we are living in unprecedented political times, which are very demanding, and they require our active contribution and participation. Well, the issue about the ODM party, I think that one was inevitable, because, of course, we are, as a country, we are in a political crisis. Yes. And this political crisis goes beyond, how we look at it. It also affects the organizations. And when I mention about organizations, I am talking about the political parties. Because, leave alone the ODM, most political parties now, as we are approaching elections, are working on, restructuring their structures, restructuring their manifesto. And then it is during these times that we also we also witness a lot of sprouting of parties. Right. Be they briefcase political parties, other parties without agenda, small parties, and also progressive political parties.
New parties of late, DCP?
Yeah, DCP. Yeah, we have seen the DCP, the launch of the DCP recently.
Did you see UMP?
Yes.
That's Kawera Mwangaza.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, there was also the PLP, the People Liberation Party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, it is during these times that we see also the sprouting of these political parties. And just to mention is that, well, it's a good thing that because, we have constitutional developments which, are historic, such as, the repealing of Section 2A. That allowed, formation of or establishment of many political parties,
right.
Unlike where we are coming from a single party state to from a de facto state to a multi-party state. So with the ODM, it was inevitable because they are both dealing with internal crisis, right. The internal reorganization of the party, and then of course the external political temperatures. Because these new political parties are gaining a lot of traction because they seem to have a consolidated agenda, unlike the ODM, which seem to overly side with the government in this broad-based conclave thing. So I just to mention is that that one was inevitable. And
Okay.
and it has also come from a history because we are seeing Raila, as a factor, as a pillar in the ODM. We
Yeah.
have seen his metamorphosis in the political arena, where he's coming from Ford, first from Kanu, and then they joined Ford, which was led by Jaramogi. And then after the death of Jaramogi, there was a contestation between Raila and Wamalwa on party leadership.
Yes.
And
then
then
Martin Shikuku.
on Martin
Remember
Shikuku
the
too.
Ford Asili
Yeah,
and Ford
and then
Kenya
Ford
issue.
split to Ford Kenya and Ford Asili.
Yes.
And we saw him also, from that quandary, we saw him reorganize himself, and he came a political. He made a political comeback with the NDP, National Democratic Party, and then from the NDP, slowly we have now come to the ODM.
Yeah.
So he has also had a
That just
history
tells
in
me
party
something.
organization.
When we are talking of old parties, Ford Kenya is older than ODM, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's because it was the success of Ford. It was one of the factions of Ford.
I would
The original Ford.
imagine that
Yes.
in your discussion in the grassroots, you have centers all across Nairobi.
Yeah.
Are you all over Kenya?
Yes, we are now all over Kenya.
Do you have discussions? Do you make people, your members, free to join parties, or you? I would imagine you have members in ODM.
Oh yes, because what I will say is that we have different political, we have the different political takes.
Yeah.
When it comes to political issues, and the membership of the social justice movement is not restricted to anyone, because it's a social movement that allows, that creates that platform and creates a community agency that oversees or creates an alternative model of the organization of local or grassroots democracy.
Do you have members of UDA
amongst
your group?
I think when the elections were done, there were different factions. But as we continue, based on the consciousness of our membership, we have just a significant number. But I think the UDA is not popular within the social justice movement.
And why?
It's very unpopular. I think, it's just a reflection of the society. Because I think where the UDA sits currently, it just espouses an atmosphere of violence, an atmosphere of, unattainable promises, plunder, corruption, and recently we have seen murder and a lot of state violence unleashed, upon a people, and, the UDA cannot be separated from these actions, because it is the party in government. It is the party that runs, the order of government.
Based on the conversations that Edwin Sifuna had on Tuesday, in your opinion, does the ODM party, carry the genuine marks of the aspirations of the Gen Zs?
I would love to imagine that these dissent voices in the ODM are majority of them are young people.
Okay.
And even when we had the organization around the Finance Bill 2024, majority of those who voted no, came from the ODM party, and some of them from from other small formations.
Okay.
And most of these people who are in office are young people. They are actually now I've seen them labeled as the young tax in the ODM.
Right.
So these dissent voices, I think, resonates a lot with the demands of the young people, the demands and the aspirations of the young people. But it's not to say that they are off the hook. But because I had the Secretary General of the ODM speak But, he tried also to explain or, to assert that he's not ready to resign until he gets the party to, to its, to its initial foundations. So to mean that, these are senior member of the party we're speaking,
right.
And to show, that there's an evident, dispute or a difference that is going on within the party ranks. Before Sifuna, I think also Orengo had tried to raise concerns,
right,
over the alliances or the coalition, the broad-based coalition, and he tried to to bring up a dissent voice. And we can see the likes of Babu Wino, we can see young people within the ODM rise up and question these party bureaucracy, because with that, and with I would love I would love to imagine the status of the Secretary General when he came out. I think we could see a hopeless Secretary General, to mean that the party leader also has a lot of bureaucracy. So we can tell that outrightly that there is a lot of bureaucracy within the ODM party, and these young and bold voices are being subordinated for the interests of a certain minority, which I think
one of the executive of the sensitive party things that the SG of ODM party spoke about was an apology. He apologized to his members for misleading them into some kind of arrangement with UDA. Don't you feel that that is ingenuine? Did you, as young people, feel like there is a bad taste in your mouth? And the reason why I'm asking this is, when you had the demonstrations in 2024 against the finance bill, it is ODM that got into this arrangement, according to Sifuna. He said it's not a government, it's an arrangement. And that somehow calmed a huge section of the youth. Do you feel like out of this, apology, it leaves you people with a bad taste? Are you really feeling betrayed by ODM? What's your general opinion on the apology, first of all, and then moving on to say that inside ODM there are bad people and there are good people, very, very sensitive, from a Secretary General, you can't take it lightly. That there are bad people and good people within ODM, and that he's apologizing. These are the people who somehow managed to tame the Gen Z uprising last year. What's your opinion?
One to mention is that now that it's coming from the Secretary General, who holds a very senior position in the party, it's to mean that we have tyranny, and it's a form of dictatorship, because if it was an agreement of the party which was democratic,
right,
and which was democratic, and it was expansively debated and vigorously debated within the ranks of the party,
right,
then it would be hypocritical for him to come in and apologize to the public. But if secondly, it seems that some people, even including some senior some senior officials of the party, were sidelined when that decision was reached to. If they are coming to realize that, well, this is not what we envisioned, and they also gave us the NADCO report, which detailed the agreed demands between the both parties. But, well, this was not an ODM issue, or, you know, because even if they were in opposition, they were just representing their own interests, you know, an interest of that minority. It's a minority that, you know, is very disassociated. You know, it is separated from the interests of the people. When you look at the NADCO report, it has some pointers, some very, very progressive pointers. But, well, if we are in a broad-based government, I mean, we share, you know, we co-share the government. So, I mean, the implementation of the NADCO report faces a lot of, you know, it faces a lot of dilemma because its implementation has to be by the state.
Okay.
But if they, you know, now that they have ministerial positions, and they don't have the implementation capacity of the NADCO report, then that one also, you know, it creates a certain form of quagmire because, you know, they cannot reach to the implementation. Either they are not interested or they are incapacitated. Okay. So, yeah, that is it. And also, I think now they are now coming to the realization that they are first losing a lot of traction in the ground. They are losing a lot of popularity and influence. As a party, as a wholesome party, because the image of Raila Odinga, once he shakes hands, and you know, he has had these, you know, he has this history of getting into coalitions and handshakes after, you know, in every regime, you know, to quell the dissent or anger. You know, he's not the father of protests or, you know, so that one has to be clear that these ones, the protests that have been happening since last year have been organic. You know, they have been purely by the masses, self-mobilized. Okay. You know, self-mobilized and peaceful. So, and just to mention is that, lastly, Jonah, is that the UDA, you know, when you are diagnosing a problem, you don't treat, you know, you don't treat the symptoms. You treat the cause. You know, you try to manage to, you try and manage, you try to manage the source of the problem, right? You know, the source of the problem, and not the symptoms themselves. So the UDA might be in you know, in a cocktail when you know, when Ruto approached Raila, or you know, we don't know, or you know, either way, or vice versa. Yeah. When he approached Raila, I think it was you know, it was an agreement, you know, on how to share power, you know. So it was between them both, you know, and they sidelined the struggling majority who are in the streets and you know, raising these issues of the high cost of living, of you know. So they sidelined them, and I think they isolated the issues and talked about their own interests. Because I think after then, Raila became comfortable because his interests were solved, and then the masses of the people were left to die in the streets, you know, from hunger or a police bullet.
Now that you've spoken about Raila, let me go back to the SG Edwin Sifuna. In your opinion, and in the opinion of many of the Gen Zs that you work around, does Edwin Sifuna now carry the genuine marks of someone who can carry the heavy burdens, or is it the cross of the country? Or is he just a populist?
Well, we are yet to know, but you know, the best expression can be, you know, we can derive the best you know, expression of you know, what character he could portray by his actions from now henceforth. Because, I mean, the moral thing to do, the most ethical thing to do is if the party is not going through, you know, if the party is not, you know, it does not advance its initial agendas or the progressive agendas that, you know, its tradition dictates, then, you know, it's bound to resign and, you know, and prove to the masses that, you know, his resignation came from the incapability of the party, or you know, the diffuseness of the party into you know, a tyrannical regime, or you know, being absorbed by a tyrannical regime, which also identifies, or you know, because when you stumble into mud, you know, with pigs in the mud, then you also identify yourself.
Okay. One of the many things that he said in that interview was that his priority and the priority of the ODM party is to, remove President Ruto from power.
Yeah.
In fact, he said this is more important than building a terminal at JKIA or, I don't know, building a market somewhere.
Yeah. Or the terminals from Mombasa to
yes.
from that links to Mombasa Road.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the priority. In all fairness, is this in your opinion, is this the right focus for a whole party? In your opinion, are we still having our eyes on the ball? Is that the correct thing to do?
We're looking at the political terrains.
Yes.
I think the Ruto Must Go campaign is a popular campaign. It has taken a national traction, and it has formed a national agenda.
But really, honestly, Brian, hasn't Ruto performed?
Well, there were a lot of promises, and it's bare. It's in black and white. It's just clear that all the promises that were made, leave alone the promises.
Yes.
The core responsibility of probably a leader of a nation,
yes,
or a country, just to say, is that it's solving the problems of the people. Is the most primary and the most urgent thing to do. Because people are not complaining about all these formalities.
Yeah.
People just need basic needs. Right now, as we were discussing last time,
yes.
The allocations on education are being slashed. Are being slashed by a very huge amount of money. That is education.
Are closing this week?
Yeah, they should. A while ago, we were also told that the government cannot, it cannot sustain. It cannot sustain. It cannot sustain free education.
Delayed capitation.
Yesterday
there was no capitation.
Yeah, there was no capitation.
Yes,
Exactly.
For
you see,
very long.
Yeah,
yes.
We were told about SHA and things, and such. Well, they might be working here and there to some extent, but it's a failed system. Affordable housing, it's a failed system.
Okay.
Majority, so it's when you look at all these issues,
yes,
you can just easily tell. And even if you don't experience them, or someone who does not experience them directly,
yeah,
you can tell the anger. You can also, of course, tell the, you tell the levels of discontent.
Okay.
That the masses of the people are subjected to. So with that, just only that, tells you that. But he has not performed. He has not even, he's not deliberate, and I think he's also not committed.
In your opinion, Brian, do you think there's a difference between politics and governance?
Politics and governance are, they might have a difference in terms of how you look at them,
yes,
but they are very interconnected and intricately bound. Because I think politics are a way of life. But now governance come, when there are roles and responsibilities.
Okay.
And now,
sorry for cutting you short. If I'm trying to get your vote, I use politics. Now, when you give me your vote, isn't that governance?
When you give me your vote, I think the process. When you go and cast your vote, it's your civic responsibility.
Yes.
So that is politics. It's part of politics.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of politics. How you practice them and when the processes that are involved. Whereas now governance comes when you have a position, when you have a role or you have a position.
Okay.
So that position and the role, gives, it creates that atmosphere of governing, of governance, being in charge of,
perfect,
or authority.
Now, just before we go for a break, let me ask you, could I be correct then to ask you this question that what Sifuna was doing was politics until they get into power, then they can be tested in governance?
Yes, I think so. To a larger extent, yes. But let's answer this after the break.
I like it when you run away from it for now. Yeah. Wow. We are with Brian Mandenge, political mobilizer, the social justice centers, especially the Mathare Social Justice Center. We are talking about the chaos in ODM party. Do you belong to a party? Tell us. 0111980384 as we go for a break. This is Politics Today.